are live because I am trying to go live almost every day. I'm not going to guarantee every day, but definitely as much as I can, maybe every other day. But I'm going to be going live with all of you on YouTube to discuss some strategies and some tips on how we as a family can survive and keep ourselves entertained. What kind of activities can we do for our kids? So, hi, my Instagram family. I am live with you guys as well, but I'm also live on YouTube. So go hop over there because I'm only going to be live on here for just the first 5 minutes. And then you're going to have to hop over on my YouTube, Raising Rich Kids, and join me there. Okay, so today, we're just going to be talking about what are some of those independent activities that our kids can do on their own so that they could do their thing and we can do our thing. So, because that's the struggle, right? A lot of us, we have work we need to get done. A lot of your parents, a lot of you parents I know are working from home. It's still busy. There's still a lot of things that we need to accomplish, right? As much as we would want to. We can't sit and play with our kids all day long. And so a lot of the times the struggle is, you're always having to go and intervene. You kind of set them up, they do something, and then they're calling you 5 minutes later, or they're fighting with their siblings and you're having to intervene. Sound familiar? Yes. So today we're going to talk about some strategies on how we can eliminate all of that chaos so that they can work quietly and we can get work done. So I had shared yesterday the family schedule. Okay, and so this was just an idea schedule of how you can set up your days. And so after the physical activity in the morning, I have play centers. This is golden, okay? Because at any age, you can set that up. So I will start in the primary level. My kids are 8 and 11, and I still do centers with them. It always just keeps them occupied for a long period of time so that I can get stuff done. So what do I mean by play centers? So that is just dividing up little activities around. So you can put it on around and like say in your family room, you can maybe organize a few, like 3 or 5. So I always recommend between 3 and 5 different activities. Okay. And so again, depending on your household, depending on how many kids you have, if my kids are in this mood where they're constantly fighting forever, sometimes I move the stations to actual different rooms. So what do I mean by stations and what do I mean by play centers? Again, so it's little activities. So sometimes it's even just taking your kids' toys. So let's say you have their blocks. You put their blocks in one area of the room. Then you, let's say, have their coloring pages and you put their coloring pages maybe on the other side of the room. Maybe their coloring pages are going to be in the kitchen. And then, so you have your blocks, your coloring pages, and then maybe you have a simple art activity. And then maybe you have a simple math activity, okay? And we're gonna go into specific activities in a bit. So maybe you have a simple math activity that they can do, and maybe have, let's say, more of a physical kind of aesthetic, something that they can do where maybe they're dancing and kind of moving around a lot, and that would be another station or another area of the room. So let me give you some examples of what I have done in the past when my kids were younger and what I do now with my kids even being older. So as I said, my kids, okay, so first thing you have to do is think about and make a list of the things that your kids can do on their own. Okay? Make a list of the things your kids can do on their own. Okay? Because again, we're thinking of activities that they can do on their own so you can get work done. This is not the time to give them a math sheet where you know they're going to be asking you, or that it's going to be complicated, or it's something new where they're going to be asking you questions. Okay? This is where you're giving them maybe a math sheet, a very simple math sheet of something that you know they've mastered, and so it's just practice. And again, we're going to be talking back into, we're going to be talking about how to move beyond the math sheets. Okay. So, math sheets are good. They have their time, they have their place, but a lot of times we can make math fun and exciting. Okay. And so, even, as I'm talking about centers and developing all of that, your 5 centers can actually be all math related, or you can do them all science related. Okay. And so, um, I know I'm kind of getting excited. So I feel like I'm kind of going all over the place. But if we were to do, let's say, math centers, then and your kids are at different ages, so you might have different things at each station. So let's say you were going to have worksheets. Okay, so let's say you have a worksheet. Let's say one's just tracing numbers for your younger kid, and maybe the other one is simple addition for the other. Okay, so that would be one station, math sheets. Then maybe the other station is, maybe you have the building blocks, and maybe they have to do something, measure the length with rulers, using the building blocks. Maybe that's the next station. And maybe for your younger kids, maybe they're not using measurement because they don't know measurement by the ruler. Yeah, but in kindergarten and grade 1, they do, I can't remember the name right now. Can't remember the name, but they do measurement, where you're just using, oh my gosh, why can't I remember it? Where you're just using like a string, or you're using objects to measure measure different things. Okay, and so that's something that you can do with the older one. And so maybe that one is going to be to build their blocks. Take all the green blocks, build the blocks as high as possible, and then tell me how many popsicle sticks was the length of that box, or of those blocks. Okay, then that's center number 2. Then maybe your next center is going to be going around the house. Now you have to go around the house, and you have to count all the objects in the family room that are square. Okay, so maybe it's going to be square or circles for your younger child, and maybe you're going into 3 dimensional. So maybe you're going into spheres, or maybe you're saying, where are all the right angles in your house? List all the things with right angles or obtuse angles. Again, using the language or wherever they're at. Okay. Then maybe center number, what am I on? 4 is about, maybe this is where they get to use technology. So maybe they get to go on ABC Yeah, or Khan Academy, or I can't remember the one that Scholastic has, but there's so many, IXL. There's so many cool and fun math programs. So maybe the next station is they get to go on one of these cool math stations or math programs online, and do that for a few minutes. And then maybe after that, they get to, again, there's so many great stuff online. There's even a lot of math YouTube videos, right? Where they're counting and they're doing actions to it, where they're adding and they're doing actions to it, where they're doing multiplication and making it into a wrap. So maybe they have to do one of those. And then maybe their challenges, they have to come up with their own little dance. Okay, so there you have, I just gave you a few examples of all kind of math based, and you can do that again for any subject, of 5 different centers. Now again, so if you have more than one child, you can have them start at each center together, okay? Or as I said, on a good day, I do that on a regular day, when my kids are constantly fighting with each other, I will start them at different stations. So one might be starting at the blocks, the other child might be starting at the playing the games on the computer. Okay, and so I would give them, let's say, 10 to 20 minutes. Okay, so again, for your younger kids, shorter time. You're probably shorter time, 10 minutes. It depends though. If it's really engaging, when they are in kindergarten and grade 1 and they are exploring and playing, they play for a long time, right? So again, when you're thinking about your list of all the activities and things that they can do independently, those are usually things that will catch their attention for a very long time. Okay, so my Instagram fam, I'm not going to go back and forth anymore. If you want to see more of what I'm talking about, join me live right now on YouTube. So go search Raising Rich Kids, and I'm going to be there continuing on giving more examples. We're going to go onto Pinterest right here. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go into Pinterest and go through some cool things that I've found. And we are going to be, again, I'm going to be here again tomorrow giving you more tips. So see you guys soon. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, so maybe, if you have 3 children, then each of them are going to start at a different station. After 10 or 20 minutes, you set a timer. When they hear the timer beep, okay, then they can go to the next station, and they rotate to the next station. And again, so your kids are very familiar with this concept. Why? Because this is what they do when they are in school, right? When they're in school, even if they're in kindergarten, even if they're in preschool, actually, when they are in school, they always know that there's a time, right? And usually there's a bell that rings, and they know sometimes they change and do different things. Sometimes then it's time to get up and go to the gym. Sometimes it's then when the bell rings, it's time to pack everything up and go sit on the carpet, right? They are used to that. So continuing that at home will definitely help, or is definitely a concept that they are familiar with. Sorry, I'm just making sure. Okay, perfect. All right. So some other examples, as I said, so I just gave the example of math, but it doesn't have to be math. You can even have math, science, um, technically you can have math, science, language, whatever. You can have some phys ed in there. You can, each center could be, the 5 centers can be the 5 different subjects if you want. Okay. One center, again, so different examples of centers. One center could be reading, so that person's reading for 20 minutes. It could be, maybe that person is organizing some bins, right? Maybe they have a bunch of Legos and toys, and this is their opportunity to kind of organize them and put them into bins. And as each person cycles around, everything will get done because each child is being able to cycle around and help get it done. And I mentioned too, you can change you can change the centers and have them in different locations. So maybe you're going to have them, maybe you're going to have them downstairs by the computer watching a YouTube exercise video, right? Or a Go Noodle, or Just Dance. There's so many fun activities, again, that are active that can get them, your kinesthetic learners, your energetic learners, get them going. So maybe for the 20 minutes, they're doing yoga or they're doing an exercise video, and then they rotate to the next one again. And maybe the next one is upstairs, and it's painting. Okay. And maybe another one downstairs is they have to go downstairs, and maybe it's something again with Play-Doh or with magnets, or something they get to manipulate with their hands. And then maybe the other center then in the kitchen at the table is some kind of worksheet or puzzles or something like that. Word search, crosswords, actual puzzles. And again, this is great because if you have kids at different age, you can put puzzles down at each child's level, right? So you can put, if this is the puzzle center, you might have a complicated puzzle there with 1,000 pieces or 100 pieces, and then you might have a puzzle piece there with 4 and 16 pieces for your younger child. So it's great because you can mix it up. So I just said 5, between 3 and 5 centers. And if you do like 10 to 20 minutes, right, that's over an hour. You get, right? 20, yes, that's over an hour that you'll be having them occupied and entertained. So, again, if you're implementing this for the first time, you might have to go through it with them. Okay. Take the time, and this is important because you don't want to just throw things at them and be like, okay, great, now you guys do this, because they are going to call you back if they don't know what to do at that center. They are going to disrupt whatever you're doing. So it's important that you take the time to explain, go through each center with the child, explain how, when you get onto the YouTube channel, just press play or do this or search that, or when you get to the center, right? And if it's something where they have to dismantle and tear it down for the next person, explain that, do all that stuff. Take the time to explain that so that it won't be as hectic. Okay, so I'm going to try sharing my screen, and we are going to, ooh, I forgot. I can't share my screen right now. Hold on, can I? Oh, I forgot. Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right. So you should be able to see my screen now. Yes. Okay. So you should be able to see my screen, right? Here we go. There you go. No, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen for a second and let me try that again. Um, okay, so let me see. Um, no, that's not working. Oh my gosh. You know what? I had actually changed. Hey, Camise. Okay, so that's not what you're supposed to be seeing either. Okay, I'm on a different computer, and I think that's what's messing me up right now. Because, okay, let me see. Okay, I don't think this is gonna work for me. I don't know what's going on right now. Let me try. Okay, so I am hoping I did not completely lose audio there, and I'm hoping that you saw most of that. Let me see. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna go back to my screen. Okay, so here we go. I'm hoping my audio is better now. Perfect. Okay, awesome. So let's keep going here very quickly. Some other cool ones. Okay, this is a cool painting one as well. So you just take blobs of paint and you use Q-tips, okay? And sometimes there's even some printouts of Q-tip art where it's color coordinated and they can put the colors in or dab the colors in little dots. That one's always pretty cool as well. Making little things. So give them the materials and have them make something out of that. What can they make with that? Okay. Hold on. Let me. little bit with you guys today. Again, these activities your kids can do alone. So the centers is something that I often do. It always keeps my kids occupied for a long time, and I'm able to get my work done. So that's it. I don't want to go over 30 minutes. So I'm going to head off now. Let me know if you have any questions. As again, I'm going to be coming on live as many times as I can to share some other tips with you. So let me know what you have, what questions you have. Follow me on Instagram at Cornerstone FS. There, I'm also kind of just sharing some daily things of what I'm doing as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Please subscribe and share this with a friend. Talk to you guys soon.